Hey, this is the man in a hat, Tom Hobbs. We're discussing tall tales for a Toastmasters competition. Following this short 2 minutes of introductions, there is one of two different stories, and they each have subtitles and key points for you to build your own tall tales with. Tall Tales in Toastmasters provides the opportunity to build skills in character development, use of sensory words, and delivery with authenticity. You truly have to live and be the character of the story. Now how cool is that? Great skill building all the way around. Tall tale speeches shall be from 3 to 5 minutes. A contestant will be disqualified if the speech is less than 2 minutes 30 seconds or more than 5 minutes 30 seconds. Paul Bunyan is an American folklore, not original to you. Your speech needs to be substantially original. However, 25% or less of the speech may be devoted to quoting, paraphrasing, or referencing another person's content. Any reference content must be said so during and identified during the speech presentation. Now, I looked up all the rules and the guidelines. Judging, 30% is based on your speech development, the way the ideas are put together for the audience to best understand it. You should have an immediate engagement, smoothly build to a climax, and a great conclusion. 55% of judging is based on the delivery. It should include exaggeration, irony, pun, humor, and a surprise twist or two. Physically, you should support the story in your stance. Gesture, facial, and body expressions are very important. Voice should be flexible, changing in pitch and in emphasis. Varies in rate and volume, and always clearly heard. The remaining 15% of language. 15% is the language. Appropriateness, good choice of words for the audience. Proper use of grammar and pronunciation shows a mastery of word usage. A quality story will have a character, goal, conflict, and a resolution. A tall tale will build to exaggeration to each of these items. Doing so with credibility creates that magical trap of believability.
Hey, howdy there. Yeah, I got a fishing story for you. Now I know what you're thinking, that this is exaggeration, bull, but it's not. Happened to me. Let me tell you what happened. Last summer, my good friend Dave and I did a float trip down the Arkansas River by Salida, and we were catching fish everywhere. The guide was amazing. He told me to throw his fly over behind a big rock, and I did. And bang, I got a hit. This was a big fish. It took me a while to get him in, but when we did, netted him and held him up, that fish had a beard. That fish had sideburns. That fish had a hank of hair on his head. We put the fish down and we looked at each other quizzically, to say the least. Where did that come from? What is that? Well, the guy says, "Sir, I don't know. I've been on this river just one summer, and the owner back in the shop tells me that there's stories like this, so let's go back and show him this story." So we go back to the shop, and we tell the owner what happened. And he looks at that fish and he says, "When I was a boy, they would tell us that there were fish in this river that were furry." I never believed him because I never caught him, but I was down there every day. Now, I know that fish came from somewhere. There's only maybe one person in town who has the answer. He's up in the nursing home. He's the oldest man here in Salida. So let's all go up and find out what's what. So we all go traipsing up to the nursing home, and there the old man is in the TV room, watching over. So we tap him on the shoulder and say, "Mister, And he looks around slowly at us and says, "Yes, honey, what are y'all doing?" "Well, we got this fish, sir, and we were wondering if you knew anything about that." We looked at the fish for maybe a minute or so. Up and down, he felt the beard and he felt the hair, and a tear came to his eyes. "Oh, this is a fish that descends of what we did long time ago in the mining days." See, the miners all wanted to get brides. They'd all struck it rich. And a lot of them had lost their hair. So they wanted to have a nice head of hair. Well, you get a miner and you get a salesman who's got the answer, and you got the makings of a real problem. Well, none of those miners grew hair. So the salesman had to beat it out of town, and he did. And before he left, though, must have tossed all that hair tonic so he wouldn't get caught with the evidence in the river. Well, that tonic all floated down, and pretty soon my friend and I noticed that a lot of the fish that we were catching had started to grow hair. Some of them had started to grow a lot of hair, so it looked like they were not swimming too well. Too much hair around the fins and all that. So we decided this is an opportunity. So we made ourselves a barber pole with the stripes and set it alongside the bank, and then we got a big old wash tub and we started beating the water. Well, the fish came swimming from up and down the river and then jumped in our tub, hoping for a shave and a haircut. Well, we instead had them for dinner, or rather the folks in town did. Many's a restaurant in Salida in those days that earned a worldwide reputation for having fur trout on the menu. Well, the water got more polluted and the fish stopped coming. We tried hard, the fish never came. And we all thought, well, the pollution killed them. But this here trout proves they're still around. And I bet somebody would do very well if they caught themselves a furry trout. And no, he's right. That seems like a real good idea. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go out right now and see if I can get me one of those trout.